You know we all saw it. You say I'm fake, that's your opinion, that's just y'all story. Just face the fact I was y'all blessing, but y'all ignored.
Welcome to the Versions of Healing, the interview segment of the Healing Version podcast, a space created to uplift real stories from real people on their unique paths to healing. In each episode, we sit down with individuals from all walks of life, from survivors, overcomers, healers, and seekers, to talk about the experiences that shaped them and the steps they've taken towards wholeness. There's no single way to heal, and no story is too small. Whether the wounds come from trauma, grief, addiction, broken relationships, or self-doubt, this segment is here to hold space for every voice and every version of healing. These conversations are raw, powerful, and rooted in truth. Because healing doesn't just happen in silence. It happens when we share, listen, and grow together. So come as you are, and let's explore the many versions of healing. Hey y'all, what's up? And welcome back to another episode of the Healing Version podcast with your host, Deborah. Hey y'all. And happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there, all the men who stood up to become fathers, or the stepped in stepfathers. We love y'all. We appreciate y'all. And today is your day. So, as a treat, I have brought a very special man on the show that I feel is the top of the chain when it comes to fatherhood and manhood. And we're going to have a conversation today. So, on this episode of Versions of Healing, the interview segment, I have the honor of interviewing Mr. Tavon Partlow Sr. So, in this powerful Father's Day episode, we're going to sit down with Tavon, whose life is a living testimony of redemption, resilience, and purpose. Tavon is not only a committed parent, but a mentor, a seasoned professional in the trucking industry, and a scholar who has earned his associate's, bachelor's, and most recently, his master's degree. But his journey didn't start here. After serving 12 years in prison, Tavon refused to let his past define him. Instead, he used it as fuel to transform his life. And now he is sharing his story to inspire others to do the same. From breaking generational cycles to embracing fatherhood with intention, Tavon is a man on a mission to create legacy, lead with faith, and show others what is possible when you choose to rise. So whether you're a parent, someone who's healing from your past, or simply in need of a reminder that growth is always possible, this episode is for you. What's up, brother? How you doing today?
Well, thank you for that grand entrance speech that you just gave for me. I appreciate it.
Are you turned up? Like you turned up a little bit.
Yeah, I'm feeling great, actually. I'm feeling productive, in my life, just doing new things and trying things out, being an entrepreneur, trying to get things right.
Awesome. All right. I mean, I don't expect anything less, but let's get into the questions, okay? Because I know you know what I'm saying? But I want the people to know like how amazing you are. And I look up to you. I love you. I appreciate how you pour into me. And I just want the world and everybody who listens to the Healing Version to know who Tavon is and know how dope he is. So can you take us back to who Tavon was before fatherhood and before prison? What life was like for you growing up?
Wow, life for me growing up was beautiful. I had my mom. She was a single mom of 4. She did everything in her power to take care of us. I learned a lot from my mom. Unfortunately, my father passed away when I was younger, when I was 11 going on 12, so I didn't have him in my life, but I had an older brother who took the role as like a mentor and father to me. So just growing up in general, I think I had a very good life, fortunately. For myself, my mom, she did everything for me.
And do you feel like with your father passing away at such an early age, I'm sorry that you lost them, do you feel like that played a role in like any choices you made, whether leading you to prison or leading you to bigger and better things in life?
I really don't think if your father is dead or not, that it makes a serious impact, so to speak, because, we all make our own choices. It's just, are we followers or leaders? I learned very early that I was more of a follower than a leader when I would be trying to lead a pack of my friends. So sometimes not having that strong mind or that strong voice or strong presence in your life could make you, I don't want to say less than, but just green too, understanding what it is to be a man and to
Mm-hmm.
be a true leader. Sometimes we fall into the wrong crowd and we make poor choices. I don't want to never say that, the choices that we make are mistakes. I like poor choices because we always can learn from it. Everything is a learning experience.
Absolutely. Absolutely. But would you say that having a father figure is important? I know, you mentioned that you can be successful without having a father, but would you say that it's important to have at least somebody in the life as a father figure?
I think it is. I think it is very important for, you know, to grow into a full man, need a father. You definitely do. Now that I just sit back, I really don't, these things that we don't sit back and think about, but now that, I am a full grown man at 40 now, I feel as though I'm mature. And I just think about, you know, me growing up after, my father passing, and how was I as a teenage boy and then entering to prison. I still had role models,
Mm-hmm.
male role models. I needed those strong men to be around me to help me understand, life moving ahead. So yes, strong presence of man is definitely needed.
So you did 12 years in prison. What would you say was like the biggest lesson or turning point for you while you were serving time to like help you decide that you wanted to get your life together, or did you take some time when you got out to get your life together?
So fortunately enough for me, I had my mom. She's very strong presence in my life. And she always gave me guidelines and rules and enforced them to the best of her ability. So I was never a fool growing up. I always loved school. I was always in school. I just chose, poor choices just to follow my friends and get into the street life. So I was always in school. Even when I was in the street life, I was in college before I went to prison. So when I went to prison, I used that skill and knowledge to continue my education, furthering it to make me the man I am today. I just stayed motivated. But one of the biggest things that helped me stay motivated while in prison all those years is watching the men around me become mentally vegetableized in a vegetable state. Mentally, they would sit and let time pass them by. They wasn't educating themselves. They wouldn't read books. They would go outside for rec all the time, sleep all day, or indulge in the poisons of the world. For me, just watching them wither away, I just knew that couldn't be me. I could work on myself physically, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, and put a plan together so I could be successful financially upon my release.
That's awesome because I feel like more men or women, people when they go to prison, they be so down on themselves that they don't really take advantage of all the things that they could take advantage of, whether it's education or tapping in spiritually, or they just ready to go home. So that's all they can think about. I just feel like you have to be mentally strong in order to like have some discipline and read and do those type of things. That's awesome. That's awesome.
It's very big. We have to continue to use our brain in a positive fashion. I think one of the biggest true stories that people talk about is prison makes us either smarter criminals to come back and repeat, or you learn new ways to be a criminal. So a lot of men that come back home, reentry, we do change. We don't want to go back in there. We don't think about going back in there. And I just think for me, another thing that played really big in my life is time. Time is everything.
Hmm.
When I went in, I believe my oldest son, he was 4, and when I came home, he was a teenager. So that's like one of the biggest things. But outside of that, when I first went in, my mom was young with black hair. I came home, she was older with gray hair. I missed the
Mm.
most precious times of my mom's years. So that really hurt me a lot, more so than anything.
Oh, I know you mentioned that your son was a teenager when you came home. I like to tap into that because I feel like a lot of men that I've talked to, they always talk about how they have a hard time like reconnecting with their children. A lot of times I feel like it's an excuse, probably 100% of the time. Like, how did you, because I know you have a really good relationship with your children, and that had to been hard for them to not have you all those years and then to come out and build that. Like, what steps did you take to build that relationship with your children?
Well, it's definitely give and take. I made a lot of poor choices first coming I don't want to keep saying coming home, but re-entering into society, I made a few poor choices. First of all, corporal punishment. I used to support it because I was one of those people, you know, that didn't know how to communicate well and didn't know how to engage with others. Being a bigger guy or being a more aggressive guy does not mean you have to be physical. I think a lot of us lose sight of the humane part of us, the soft spot. And I'm talking about when it comes to us men. We have to love on our children. You can still be strong and firm with just your voice and just the way you carry yourself. I think we should be more as mentors and coaches in their life, opposed to trying to force them not to be like us when we were younger. Because I think that's the biggest things for parents, is that we always say, I just don't want you to be like me when I was your age. And sometimes we got to let them be who they are, because they are of you. So they may make some of the same poor choices you made, but allow your child to experience life and make those poor choices so they can learn and be better people.
Absolutely. So when you came home, what you say? You said you ain't gonna say come home.
When I re-entered into society,
When you re-entered into society, did you have a hard time like connecting? Because you only had the boys then. Did you have a hard time connecting with them?
yeah,
Did you apologize for not being? What did you do like to them directly?
yes. So I definitely apologize. That's the first thing I did. We cannot make up for lost times. That's the one thing that I kept repeating over and over. And I try to, get them to understand that I did make poor choices, but what I thought back then was for the betterment of the family. When I caught my charge, I was 19 years old. I went to prison at 20, came home at 32. So they understood it. And this is why they engage with me sincerely the way they do and love me the way they do, because they understand my passion and drive. They see it within me, and they understand, that I was young, and I trying my best to be in their lives as much as possible now.
All right. So what does that look like today? Like being in your children's life? Like what type of things do you do with them?
So co-parenting, right? Co-parenting only works if both parents come to mutual grounds on almost every situation possible. Whether it's the way they wear their hair, the way they dress, the way they interact, their friends. We have to be more engaging. There's so many times that uh, the father is left out on the child's friends, schools, places they hang out. If anything was to happen to our child, we wouldn't even know where to start. I just think engaging on a co-parent level, you both have to understand mutually how you're trying to raise your child. So for my boys, I let them basically make their own choices. What you want to do when you grow up. My youngest son, he loves football. He actually got 5 letters from 5 different colleges to attend, and I'm proud
That's
of him.
dope.
So I just let him choose his way. Now he has made some choices that I might have frowned upon, but as a father, like, man, you don't want to do that because this and that. But that's coaching still. You just engage and say, man, you might not want to do that, but I'm gonna let you be your own man. My oldest son, again, we're gonna make our poor choices, but they're learning and they're growing. And just from a father's eye to see your child make a mistake, make a poor choice, and then recuperate and say, I'm gonna do it better next time. It's joy. It's a joyous experience.
So you said make a mistake and then you went back and said make a poor choice. Why did you change that?
Yeah, because I don't really believe in mistakes. I'm gonna tell you why. I try to take it out of my vocabulary. It's still in there, but I'm trying to remove it. So a mistake is something like this. Let's say we was having this sit down face to face, and I put my water bottle on the edge of the table, and you go to turn because you didn't see me put it there, and you turn and knock it over. That wasn't a choice. You didn't know it was there. That was actual mistake. If I have a choice to take a blue pill or a red pill, and I choose to take the red pill, and the red pill send me down dirt road, but the blue pill could have sent me down the golden road, then I made a choice. That's the difference. It's conscious decisions from a mistake. A mistake is unconsciously done versus a poor choice. Sorry. Was that too
Hey,
low?
hey,
Was that
no,
too low?
no, you broke that down. Look, I have to put some hand claps right here. No, that was really good. It was explained where a child could understand it, and I love when things are broken down in that way where anybody and their mama can understand it because it's good information. It's good information. So you have 3 degrees. How was it going back to school, earning these degrees and having a like, cause you a busy man. You work hard. You probably one of the hardest workers. Like everybody know I work hard. This man worked harder than me, y'all. So just imagine how hard that is. So you went to school. You earned what associates, a bachelor's, and you just got your master's. How did
And
you do that on top of working more hours than we have in a week?
so I was asked that earlier today, which is
Oh, wow.
really funny. But someone asked me like, what my motivation and my drive, and I just say to people around me, like, just growing up, I don't think I said where I was from. I'm from Baltimore City. I got told a lot. People said it a lot to me that I would never be nothing. I would be a common thug. I would wind up dead or in jail. And we hear these same, stigmatisms for black men all the time. And once I went into prison, I was like, dang, wow. They wasn't lying. I'm in here now. So that just made me change my whole mindset of once I returned to be the most successful man I ever knew for myself. Now, when I talk about success, I think now I do want to break this down real quick. Beauty, right? Beauty is in the eye.
Say that again. He from Baltimore, y'all. Say that word again.
Beauty,
Because at first I thought you said
beauty is in the eyes of the beholder. And
beauty.
like success is also in the eyes of the beholder. And success to me is being financially stable. I'm gonna say have competencies of religious values, morals, and principles, communication values, morals, and principles, and be spiritually inclined to your moral compass. I think we leave that out when it comes to success because all success ain't great. It's not. Like you can have evil success. You want to make sure everything that you earn is earned in the way that that is good and pure. I try to leave religion out of things because a lot of people don't believe anymore. But if you don't believe in religion, you have to believe in great values. We know that if we go out and we commit a crime, that it is bad when it hurts other people. If someone is crying about something, then something is bad, unless they're crying because something happened really good. But
Yeah,
if you inflict
I cry about everything.
if we inflict pain to someone and they're crying, then yeah, or they losing. Because it don't always have to be physical. It could be mental.
Yeah, I
Did I answer
agree.
that question all the way through?
Yes, you did. You answered it beautifully. Thank you for that. So what is some advice that you would give to other fathers who feel like their past mistakes disqualifies them from present achievement or a relationship with their children?
I tell them, man, use that as your driving force. Like somebody say you can't, like Nutty Professor. Yes, I can. Make sure you do. make sure you let people know you can. A lot of men have to take that word out of their mouths. I can't. Now we know things that aren't physically possible, things that aren't mentally possible. But whatever is within your reach, then attain it. And if you need help, then reach out. I had a lot of help. I had a lot of mentors. I had a lot of resources that helped me get these 5 trades and these 3 degrees. But even with driving trucks, when most people see a truck, they say, I ain't driving that big thing. And then, once you get behind the wheel and you start realizing it's not that bad, you got a trade under your belt. When I became a bricklayer, it was like, wow, man, these bricks look heavy. Once I started throwing them, I became accustomed to the feel and the way to hold them and the way to lay them. It's just you just got to try. Just try. Most men don't even try no more. They just, well, the world don't love me. I'm not gonna love myself. No, you can't be Eeyore. You can't be Eeyore. You gotta be. Put your chest out, man. I heard a lot of time people say, "Don't be boisterous. Don't be prideful." But it's nothing wrong with being firm and strong. There ain't nothing wrong with saying what you earned. You earned it. And if you feel good about it, you should celebrate yourself. That's it.
Yes. I think a lot of people give like slack from that or like, cause I think I don't say I think I've suffered from that where I'm just like, man, I don't want to seem like I'm bragging or boasting, but are you not thankful for what you have? Like, I'm celebrating every achievement. Matter of fact, I got one more subscriber on Spotify today, and baby, I was celebrating in the doctor's office because what's up? I got somebody else listening to my ads.
I'm really proud of you. You came a long way.
Thank you.
So I recognize you also.
I know. I appreciate and when I mention support and I say there's people in this world that I've never met before that support me, Tavon is one of them. But we are actually going to meet in August when he walk across that stage and get his master's degree. I will be there. I have already taken off work. I just got to get my flight and we're going to be outside. We're going to be outside.
I can't wait.
I'm excited because I ain't going nowhere until then. I'm not going nowhere for my birthday. I'm saving my out of town trip for the graduation. Yeah.
Yes. Raise the roof.
Yeah, not raise the roof.
So
kids gonna cringe.
Let me also break something down. Networking. I want to use that because what you just said of people that you never even met in person have been true, sincere advisors and helpers to you. Networking is everything. I don't care how much you know. Sometimes you can know everything, but if you ain't talking to the right people, you can't get in. You outside with the way to turn a staff into a snake. You can't. Nobody's gonna see it if they don't. If the doors ain't open. Networking is everything. I just think that resources and meeting people, man, with just have a good heart. I just think a lot of people believe that most people are evil, so they always got their hand out. But sometimes it might not be a hand. It might be an ear. Just tell me where to go. E40. Right. Tell me where to go. Tell me where to go. Son.
Oh man, you play all day. So when you take a look at the man you are today, what would you say you're most proud of?
Man, not giving up. I watched so many men in prison give up, took their own lives. Like I said, that vegetable state of mind and bodies. Some of them, it's men in there that's been in there for over 20 years, 30 years. And you look at them, they done deteriorated, But my best quality is I am a certified, natural born go-getter. That's why I take entrepreneurship. I take entrepreneurship serious. I don't think one person, I don't care if you're man or woman or whatever you claim, right? I just think that you shouldn't stay focused on one thing. Like, let's say you are a master surgeon. Your hands are so steady. You just that person. Then something happened to your hand and they ain't steady no more. What you gonna do now? I think we should always be prepared for the unimaginable, the unthinkable. Just always be prepared. Or just have a A, B, C, D, E, F, G plan if you can. And I'm just one of those people who believe in that.
That's real. You say millionaires have like 7 to 8, maybe more incomes. Like they have deposits coming from many directions. And I mean, that makes sense. Like granted, you could become a millionaire off of one business, but the likelihood of that, happening for everybody. Most millionaires and I want many deposits. I want to wake up and have 10 deposits and be like, oh, wow, okay. All that came in while I was sleeping. So, right. Yeah, definitely.
That residual income. Residual income, right? I have a saying, I need different streams of revenue from different avenues. That is a real thing. To have money coming in, even if it's pennies. You imagine 1,000 pennies coming to you every 3 hours. Just 1,000 pennies every 3 hours. That adds up.
Yeah. So if you had a final message that you wanted to say to the audience and maybe encourage a younger father who's new to fatherhood or a young man who may be thinking of doing something that could land him in prison, what is something that you would say to them?
Final message. Wow, man, so much you can say to him, man. Love yourself. We got to start loving ourselves too, man. I heard it, women say it all the time about self-care. We got to start believing in that, man, because a lot of poor choices that we be making, we wouldn't do it if we loved ourselves. Even when dealing with random women or hanging with our friends. Let's think about your homeboy. Imagine he ain't getting in that car that night. Imagine he ain't take that long walk that night. Sometimes we got to just love ourselves. It'll stop us. It'll stop us from overeating. It'll stop us from using drugs. It'll even stop us from abusing our women mentally, physically, emotionally. Just love yourself. Look in the mirror and say, man, I am a king. for the ones who are re-entering, society that may listen to this one day, I hope you do. Never give up. I don't care how many doors close, so many others are open, man. Only if you knew my life more and have an understanding that I got told no a whole lot. But with 5 trades and 3 degrees, look at me now. Look at me
Hey,
now.
look at me now. Hey, that's so
And
funny. I just said that in the video that I post on TikTok because I had
hey,
these pants on that I couldn't fit. That's crazy. I said, look at me now. I got these ones on and they button up, y'all.
and I ain't stopping. I ain't stopping. I'm 40 years old, man. My mind's still working. Another day alive, another day free. Y'all know the slogan. And
So
for
you
the
want to
young,
get your doctorates?
so I'm gonna get my dual masters in psychology.
Okay.
Once I get my governor's pardon, I'll be able to use that and start my own practice, and that'll be another stream of income.
Yeah, and mentioning that, speaking of psychology, shout out to all the men for Mental Health Month for Men. I think men don't get enough support when it comes to mental health. So I will be putting some information in the description to some resources if you need some help mentally or you're dealing with something. Because yeah, I feel like a lot of times men are just, they have to hold stuff in. They can't let it out because you can't be strong and be crying or show emotion. Being strong is equal to not being emotional. And I hate that phenomenon. Yeah, breaks my heart because there's so many men that are shut off emotionally. They don't even know how to open up and just say how they feel.
I agree. I agree. I think we should, again, engaging in communication is my biggest thing. So we have to engage and communicate. People might say, what you mean by engaging is really engaging. That's when you lock in onto the conversation. You understand what the message is. What does the person want? What do they need from you? If you cannot be used, then you're useless. That's it. You're useless. If you cannot be used, then you're useless. And that's just a fact of life. Out here, we have to understand just our roles, and where you want to be at in the role, in the cycle. But yeah, I really enjoyed this.
I did too. Well, can you tell us how, if somebody in the audience wanted to follow you on social media, they wanted to tap in with you, can you tell us how to reach you on social media and also give us a little tidbit about your self help book?
Oh, yeah, I almost forgot about that. Yeah. Raise the roof again.
Raise the roof again.
So you can reach me on Instagram at Partlow, my last name, P as in Paul, ARTLOW _SR. So it's my last name, Partlow _Sr. I just put the underscore as a space. Most people do it. And I'm also on Bigo Live under Partlow's 2020. So it's my last name with a S, 2020, and my book. So my first book that I decided to release, which will be releasing within the next 2 months, hopefully, God willing, is called Thinking, Deciding, and Change Equals the Road to Success. And what I talk about in it is different topics that may be bothering us as adults. And it's okay to feel that way. If you're feeling depressed, it's okay to feel that way. The problem is the solution. How can we fix it? One of the biggest chapters for me inside of the book is accountability. Taking accountability for our actions and everything that we do. Being firm,
Mhm.
being honest. You don't have to lie. Being an adult and still lying is crazy to me. That's just
Man,
my just
wow.
just my
It's
thought.
wild business, man. Like,
Yeah,
what?
this is my
What are
thought.
you afraid of? Because I just feel like
Standing on
lying
business.
is tied with being afraid. So you lie because you're scared. Because that's what kids do. They scared they're going to get, disciplined. So they lie. So what your big grown, but go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's lying from being afraid or lying to get over. However, a person, just think about it. You lied to trick me out of $20, but in my back pocket, I had tucked away 50 for you. So I just gave you the 20 because I knew you lied. So you tricked your own self out of extra cash. A
And
lot of
burned
people
a
just don't.
bridge in the process.
In the process. A lot of people don't think about that. I got a lot of homeboys now that be hitting me up. I had so many nicknames growing up. So I lived in so many different places and people call me different things everywhere. But I always get these texts on social media. Hey bro, what you doing? Come hang out. Hey bro, what's up? And I'm like, man, I can't come hang with you. You're still in the streets. You're still involved in the commodore, which is intoxicants. And I don't want to be, surrounded, by that stuff. You have to change people, places, and things. I think that I should have said that earlier too. For the men coming home, do
Mm-hmm.
not go back. Because going back, I mean, it's simple. Going back is what? Going back. How else can you say it? don't go back. Change people, places, and things. Surround yourself around good people that are nurturing, that are going to help you succeed. Sometimes your haters are your best friend because they're going to really push you. It be them friends in your face that be smiling. Yeah, yeah. You hear me in your ear whispering.
Praying on your downfall. Well, brother, I thank you so much for coming to the Healing Version podcast. We're going to have you on later shows because I definitely want to talk about relationship stuff with you on here.
Yeah,
we ain't gonna get into that fun. Right now. Is not the time. Today is for the fathers. We appreciate y'all. I love y'all. Make sure y'all tap in with me. Anything you want to say before we end, brother?
Yeah, man. I just tell everyone, this is not just for the men, for the women too. Keep your head up and keep pushing. Every time you see a hurdle, try to clear it. If you can't jump on it on your own, take somebody's shoulder, lean on it, hop over it. We need help sometimes. Just don't give up. Seek the help that you need. Oh, and another thing, it is nothing wrong with getting therapeutic help.
Thank you, my brother.
Sometimes just talking to people, talking to a professional. Stop going. Hold on, I'm sorry. Stop going to social media reels and social media memes and thinking it's a psych doctor. It's not. Seek professional help. Sometimes you may find that right person that not only becomes a psych therapist to you, but just a mentor. Because some of them have resources that can help you get out of the situations.
Yes, there's nothing wrong with therapy. There's nothing wrong. I don't know what the stigma, and I hate it. I hate that people look at therapy and be like, I don't want to talk to and tell nobody my business. But you'll sit there and make a whole 3-page post on Facebook and tell people who just laughing at you and happy that you're doing worse than them. Like, get it together. All right, y'all. Well, thanks for tuning in, and we are out. Peace.
Peace.
Got a brand new Glock 9 and I keep it by my side. Took the side of that little boy done out of hatred, no question. Draw your sword, get met with brute force, no second guessing. Watch your mouth, no dissing me. We all saw it. You say I'm fake, that's your opinion, that's just y'all story. Just face the fact I was y'all blessing, but y'all ignored it. Your quest for fame had you distorted, not accepting sorry. I'm really that the streets about, the people vouch, the jail vouch, all the niggas in the feds about. We held it down while in